So this is the video about the details of the bike, what I've done to it, what kind of parts I've used, where I got my parts, in case you ever decide to make your own or have one similar to this and might want to change out some parts for the parts that I have. And I'll get this all getting on going. So I got this bike computer here. It's actually pretty good. It shows you average speed, trip distance, odometer, maximum speed, even shows you the temperature. This one's in Celsius though, but you could switch it over to standard for US. I got this from a bike shop. It's for a BMX bike, but it actually works out pretty good. And just a couple of spacers down here to spacing it out. It was a little, did have to cut the forks though when I had it because I didn't want my handlebars all the way up here. This is a GT2 Skyhawk frame that I bought online. This engine I got online from Groovy as well. The filter I got on Amazon, it's a nice free flow filter. It was actually meant for a larger engine, and I ended up having to customize my own flange and drill holes and cut out holes for the airflow into the carburetor and everything like that. And the carb jet is drilled out to a number 72 or number 82 bit. I don't remember exactly which one, but it's like 0.261 or 0.0261 inches or something like that. It's been really responsive for me. I did have to lean it out a little bit on the carburetor idle adjustment screw, which is right here. I had about a quarter turn and it worked out just fine. It's idling pretty good and it doesn't have a lean condition. I'd say it's still a little bit rich, but that's not going to hurt it at all. This pipe came from Amazon. It's not too loud, but I do feel like it gives me a bit more power. And my leg doesn't come in contact with it if you're worried about an exhaust like this coming in contact with your leg. Mine doesn't come anywhere near it. I would just be careful if you were trying to do anything around here, put a bike lock, mind your knuckles after you're done running it, because I actually did that. Ended up burning my finger while putting a bike lock around it. The shifter works like this. I have a twist grip shifter on the side here. It is upside down because it's obviously meant for a right hand side setup, but it works all just the same on the left. It's just upside down, but I don't mind the numbers being upside down. You can get a shifter with the brakes as one piece and then put it over here, but I think these would be in the way for my throttle and kill switch. For my kill switch connector, I just have a regular Deutsch connector on Amazon. I soldered it in and connected it up and it works just fine. I haven't had any issues with it or anything like that, and it hasn't vibrated loose, which is actually really nice. And one of these, pretty much like a wire tie, just screwed in with the self-tapping screw into the plastic, does not contact the metal down there. Make sure when you do it, if you do it like this, to make sure it doesn't contact the metal down in there. See, there's a little bit of space and it doesn't contact anything. And so I have a bike rack. This is a nice bike rack. It's advertised to hold 300 pounds. And I have this Bikeroo seat. Real nice. I don't have any complaints with it in terms of how sitting on it. I've ridden this thing for a number of hours at a time and I haven't had any problems with the seat being uncomfortable. I've even pedaled it for a few hours at a time, seeing as my jack shaft is not attached right now. So keep that in mind. If you do, and you have any questions about the bottom bracket, if you get one of these kits, the left-hand threads have to go on the right-hand side, and the right-hand threads have to go on the left-hand side. I accidentally made that mistake of thinking the left-hand threads went on the left-hand side, and every time I'd pedal and I'd go for maybe a quarter mile, the bottom bracket would become loose and I'd have to tighten it up. And you obviously don't want to be doing that, especially if you have to pedal it for whatever reason, out of gas, engine breaks down, or whatever. So make sure the right-hand threads are on the left-hand side. And I have no problems with it clearing. Get just about an inch right there. I would highly recommend keeping this guard on too, because when you pedal it, this spins quite quickly and it will catch on your pants. And Loctite everything that has threads on it that doesn't have a lock washer or another form of keeping the bolt or fastener from coming loose, because if you don't use Loctite, these right here, these set screws will come loose. This will come loose. This will come loose. The set screws in here will come loose. So you do want to make sure that everything has Loctite on it, especially these here and these here. I have Loctite on the way, some more to do some Loctiting on some more things on this bike, because the last thing you want is the tensioner coming loose and then the chain jumps and comes off, and then you got to put it back on and try to finagle with this thing. So just something little, FYI. And pedcock I got on Amazon. These frames do not come with a pedcock, at least where I got them from. So you have to get a 10 by 1.0 thread pitch male pedcock, and I got a straight one, so it actually just comes down and it stays out of the way of the air filter. So I have a good amount of clearance between. I can stick my finger in there. So that's the bike in terms of the engine and drivetrain. These tires are Maxxis hookworms. They are 26 by 2.5 and they have nice inverted tread. They are pretty beefy. I had this thing up pretty quick and I haven't had a problem with the tires or feeling unsafe like they're going to blow. I highly recommend, if you're going to do anything over 45 or 50, regular bike tires may not be for you. You might want to try to find a motorcycle wheel and try to adapt it to a bigger frame or a bottom bracket or something, or some kind of tubeless setup or something, because I wouldn't have faith in these tires if I was doing anything like you put a 212cc or something in there and you're trying to go 65, 70 miles an hour. That's a little bit much for a bike tire. My Suntour forks are pretty good. They do absorb the shock quite nicely and I don't have any problems with them. Haven't had any problems with them since in the about 60 miles that I've ridden them. We'll see how they go throughout the year. Just a standard hub with front wheel, 1.5 wall, 26 inch front wheel, and same tire in the front with cantilever brakes, which actually for this grip a lot better than I thought they were going to. But I primarily use the back brake just because I always feel like I'm going to dive forward, even though there's too much weight in there to make me fall forward over. But that's just me. I just like using the back brake. But you have to be more cautious using the back brake because it takes you longer to stop with just the back brake. But the front brake's there if I really need to stop quick. And it does stop me quick. So, yep. And the gas tank is in here, integral to the frame. 2.4 liters, I believe. So be careful when you're filling it up. It will splash out, and it actually splashed out on here, which is where these marks came from. That's the bike so far. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thank you for your time. Thank you.